Welcome back to a glorious Friday night. We're in the shop tonight working, and I'm going to finalize the head mating surface preparation. I've got this little sanding block, a Dubro quicksand. The reason I chose this to do what I'm going to do, it's nice and flat, it's rigid, it doesn't bend, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. And most importantly, after you do this, you have to check it for flatness. You have to have a straight edge that you know is nice and flat, and I'll show you how to check that for flatness. And you need a feeler gauge. The particular one I'm using, this one came from Harbor Freight, and the one I'm using is 15 10,000ths of an inch. That's 0.0015, so it's nice and thin. So I'll show you how to do that, and let's get started. All right, so like I said, I've already done this before with some 150 grit, got everything nice and cleaned up. I'm going to go back with some 220. So basically all I'm doing is circle, just going in circles, stuffing everything up. Now, I'm not trying to correct flatness. Basically, all I'm doing is just making sure the surface is clean, and flatness is a different thing altogether. So I'm confident that I've got the surface clean. I'm going to wipe this down. I'm going to bring the straight edge in here, and I'll show you how to check for flatness. All right, so to make sure your straight edge is straight, find a piece of glass. This glass is going to be used in an upcoming video. You'll see why, but why I'm using this piece of glass, if you take your feeler gauge and if you go down through here, and if at any point the feeler gauge goes underneath the straight edge, it's not flat or it's not straight. So this one, obviously I've already checked it. This straight edge is flat. I cannot get under it, so off we go. So this is where we're at so far on the head mating surface, or the deck of the block. It's nice and clean. This is just staining in the metal, but the metal is nice and smooth. And I do have some nice cross hatching in here after the hone. So let me get the straight edge set up and we'll cover that. All right, so I found this on Amazon. This is a Power Tech straight edge. It's pretty beefy, 18 inches in length. So just like I showed you on the glass, it's the same concept. What you're going to do is come over here, lay this on the block, and make sure the feeler gauge doesn't go underneath the straight edge. Okay, so you want to check this in multiple places. Don't just check it in the middle. So I can just about get under, almost right there, but not quite. A little bit further. Actually, it does go under right there. So right there's a low spot. Well, never mind. That's the water jacket. I'm an idiot. So yeah, so if we stay on the block and no, they're right there. It does go under just a little bit. Yeah, right there. So this is going to be a low spot, but again, this is 15 10,000ths. I will be using the MLS multi-layer steel head gaskets. Really not worried about that. It's not, it does kind of catch right there and there. So if I continue down, you want to check it again, multiple spots and different angles. And I'm missing the block. So I can get under there. I think that's the edge of the cylinder. Yeah. So here's another spot. I'm getting under right there. It does kind of bind a little bit. For me, I'm going to roll with it. So I'm getting under here. This is at the top. This is at the very top. Above the water jackets, not real concerned there. If you're not at all confident in this method, go have your block machined. You know, I had a comment, the guy said that, different video, man, your head gaskets are going to leak, and if they do, they do. I'm doing this myself, and if I have to redo it, I will. So, but not only checking it across, you want to check it on an angle. So kind of put this diagonally across, not just straight across. So turn it different directions, and you'll get a different take on everything kind of across the way. So just check that in multiple areas. If I go back to this same spot, if I scoot it, so I'm over the water jacket. So that's that area right there. I am able to get under right here. So this is a low spot right here. And you can actually see that by the sanding. So again, I'm confident that the head gaskets will make up that gap. It's not large. I could actually probably take this feeler gauge and pick a, I don't know, let's go with 2/1000ths of an inch. What else do we have? Here's 2/1000ths. 2/1000ths. It's not real easy to say. 2/1000ths does not fit. 15 10/1000ths does, but 2/1000ths. Don't quote me on this, but I believe 2/1000ths would be the spec for out of flatness, if that's the correct term. I cannot get 2/1000ths under that. So that's why I say I'm not real concerned. You know, if the 2/1000ths went under there with ease, maybe if I went up to 3/1000ths or, you know, 4/1000ths and it kept growing or not stopping, I would have an issue. But 2/1000ths does not slide under. I'm not worried about that. So again, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 2/1000ths of an inch would be within spec for out of flatness, and we're definitely not that. So anyway, I believe this is good. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully maybe taught you something. I don't know. This is I'm learning some of this stuff myself. So I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit that like button. Please share. And I'm going to flip this over and move on to the other side. So just to recap, the tools of the evening here was this straight edge, PowerTech. Like I said, this thing's pretty beefy. It's aluminum, 18 inches in length. Seems to be very straight. This little sander, Dubro quick sand. It came with 3 sheets. I would recommend buying extra ones. They just stick on. I've already peeled it off. It peels off. It does not leave any adhesive behind. So I'm pretty happy with that. And again, just a cheap Harbor Freight feeler gauge set. This one in particular I bought because it has 15 10/1000ths. Not all of them do. And then, of course, you saw me check it again with the 2/1000ths as well. So anyway, don't be afraid to tackle this. It's very easy. And if it checks out with your feeler gauges, in my opinion, if you're less than 2/1000 of an inch, again, don't quote me, do your own research. But if you're less than 2/1000 of an inch out of flat, you're good to go. That's what I'm going to do. See ya.